They reversed the result of your fight.
Yeah.
Should they reverse the result of that fight as well?
It just depends. Like if that changes the whole fight, if that gives Roach the victory, give him the victory. That's how you keep the integrity of the sport, right? That's why they suspended me, right?
Gervonta Davis had enough of the criticism over the knee he took during the Roach fight, and now he's firing back at everyone. The backlash has been relentless since the fight ended, and Gervonta Davis feeling the pressure.
Tank Davis, GTD, and I don't mean got the draws, went up against Lamont Roach. Let me tell you something. Tank got spanked. Roach should have won. And Tank even dropped to his knee. It should have been called a knockdown.
He's not the only one under fire. A new interview with referee Willis has surfaced, adding more fuel to the fire. Let's get you up to speed.
Gervonta Davis take a knee, and should he have been deducted a point and in the end lost that fight to Roach, in your opinion?
Yeah, in my opinion, it was a draw. He take a knee. And plus the corner.
The same fans who once cheered his name, the same analysts who praised him as the most dangerous puncher in boxing, are now using one moment to tear Gervonta Davis. The internet has been relentless. Memes are everywhere, and suddenly, everyone has an opinion on what went down in that ring. Meanwhile, the New York State Athletic Commission is still reviewing Steve Willis's handling of the fight, making things even more intense. And just hours ago, Gervonta Davis, he went off, making it clear that he's sick of how boxing operates. Boxing is trash. Look at everyone bashing me. They're the same ones who bet on me, he said in frustration. In boxing, one loss or a single bad night is all it takes for people to forget everything you've done and focus only on that one moment.
Boxing has become this thing where, you have to be undefeated for people to care about you, and that's all.
Gervonta Davis, since the fight, the conversation hasn't been about his career, his power, or his dominance. It's been about that one moment, the moment he dropped to a knee, the moment Steve Willis hesitated, the moment Lamont Roach Jr. was arguably robbed of a legitimate knockdown. Suddenly, the narrative around Gervonta Davis. The same people who once called him unstoppable are now questioning his vulnerability. Fighters who used to avoid mentioning his name are suddenly taking shots, acting like this is their moment to challenge him. But the biggest insult, people are now acting like Shakur Stevenson could walk right through him.
What may happen against Shakur Stevenson? I hear more about Shakur Stevenson after this fight than I hear about Lamont Roach, which I think is sad.
That's what really Gervonta Davis lost focus in there. But that doesn't mean he snapped. I'll get back up, and we'll see what everyone says. I'll put all of them down. It's Gervonta Davis isn't just reacting to the Roach fight. He's responding to the disrespect. He sees the analysts, the fans, and the Gervonta Davis shots at him. And he's making it known that he's not backing down. But while Gervonta Davis with the backlash, the debate around the fight itself is still Gervonta Davis. Panel discussion made one thing clear. What happened in that ring was a disaster. Veteran boxing writer Dan Rafael didn't hold back, saying, Gervonta Davis on Willis. He cost Lamont Roach a championship, robbing him of the chance to hand America's top fighter his first loss. A lot went wrong, and it all worked against Roach.
The question is about Gervonta Davis's power. What is his power like? Is he as hard a puncher as he's made out to be? If the best name that somebody could give me of somebody that he knocked out is a little dude who was at his, fourth weight? I can't read too.
Jack Rice, a respected former referee, joined trainer Stephen Edwards and former champions Chris Algieri and Paulie Malignaggi in agreement. Roach's knockdown should have been called. The way Willis handled the situation raised too many questions. First, there was the hesitation. Then, there was the fact that Gervonta Davis his back and walked to his corner mid-round. And in the midst of all that, his trainer, Calvin Ford, was allowed to step up and wipe his face with a towel. How does that happen? Malignaggi questioned during the panel. How does a fighter just walk to his corner, get his face wiped, and the ref does nothing? That's insane.
To me, I think I won a fight. Now, granted, ninth round,
should have been called a knockdown. 2 judges on the official scorecards gave him the round 10-9. If that was a knockdown, I win the round 10-8. That's a 3.
Founder Gary Jonas, who also advises Roach, is taking action, pushing for the New York State Athletic Commission to overturn the fight's result. He has officially filed an appeal, arguing that Roach should be declared the winner. His reasoning? The knockdown Gervonta Davis is back mid-fight, and Calvin Ford illegally stepped onto the ring apron. Any one of those infractions should have been enough for Willis Gervonta Davis. People make mistakes, but it always seems to favor one side, Bradman Edwards pointed out, a statement many fans agree with. When Gervonta Davis, the undefeated superstar, everything seemed to go his way. But now that there's a moment of weakness, the conversation has shifted to how boxing protects its biggest stars. Malignaggi wasn't holding back either. "You cannot call your own timeout," he said bluntly. "That's not how this works."
You lost that fight. I mean, the only reason they gave you the fight was because you would make more money as a champion, but there's no way it's a draw, and they didn't call it a knockdown. If they called a knockdown, you lost.
While the commission reviews the fight, Gervonta Davis has mind on something else: revenge. He sees what's happening. He knows that if he had knocked out Roach early, none of this would even be a discussion. The same analysts criticizing him now would be praising his power if things had gone differently.
So when your foot's out, 1 foot out, you're going to get in the ring and you're going to have that moment where you got to step it up and it just won't come. But I think that's what happened.
What do you think about him taking the knee at that point?
I think that...
should it have been Roach?
And then there are the fighters circling around him. Shaker Stevenson wasted no time throwing shade, implying Gervonta Davis' performance proves he can't handle pure boxers. Ryan Garcia, of course, couldn't resist jumping in. Gervonta Davis Twitter and saying, "Not so scary anymore."
I thought he would, and I thought he won the fight personally. The no knockdown, that was like unheard of. It was the first time I've ever seen it with my own 2 eyes. And
Devin Haney, who has had his fair share of back and forth, Gervonta Davis made sure to take his shot, reminding everyone. Real champions dump Gervonta Davis just hearing the criticism. He's taking notes. For him, this is personal now. It's no longer about whether the knee should have been counted as a knockdown. It's about proving that one shaky night doesn't erase everything he's accomplished. He's always been known as the most dangerous puncher in the division, and he's determined to remind the world exactly why.
I'm not sure, bro. I'm definitely not sure, but hopefully we could get it before. Nah, it probably won't be this year.
Is that the one you want next?
Gervonta Davis of a rematch with Roach, but at this point, that doesn't seem like enough for looking beyond Roach. He wants to Gervonta Davis, who's spoken on his name. He wants to erase this moment from history with a knockout so brutal that no one ever brings up the Roach fight again. But the reality is, this controversy isn't going away. Even if the New York Commission doesn't overturn the fight, it will leave a stain on Tank's legacy, at least for now. Fighters like Floyd Mayweather, Canelo Alvarez, and even Muhammad Ali all faced moments of doubt, but what set them apart was how they responded. Gervonta Davis is making it